The family of a murdered child is speaking out. It's October 28th, 2024, and these are your headlines. Family members of Nikki Curtis, that's the 2-year-old that was murdered by Robert Roberson, have written to the House Criminal Jurisprudence Committee blasting the one-sided portrayal given of the killer and their attempt to exonerate him. Roberson was convicted of murdering his daughter Nikki over 20 years ago and was scheduled for execution earlier this month. That's been put on hold amid legal maneuvers from members of the House Criminal Jurisprudence Committee, who have painted him as innocent and forced a stay of execution by issuing a subpoena to Roberson to appear before their committee. Now, 3 members of her family are speaking out. Nikki's brother, Matthew Bowman, as well as her aunt Jessica Carrier and grandfather Larry Bowman, say they felt the need to come forward due to the committee's actions. They said that given the one-sided picture of Mr. Roberson that has been recently portrayed in the media, we feel obliged to speak up and defend the real victim in this case, whose life was taken by the hands of Robert Roberson, Nikki Curtis. Nikki's story must be told. And to that end, the family says that Roberson should be put to death based on the facts of the case and the evidence that led to the jury's verdict. And they went on in that letter to detail the history of abuse by Roberson, violence and sexual abuse. Meanwhile, Governor Greg Abbott has filed a brief in the Supreme Court of Texas to say that the committee has overstepped its authority in its efforts to delay Roberson's execution. Last week, a group of lawmakers led by Representative Cody Harris, who represents Palestine, where the murder occurred, also filed a brief saying the committee was usurping power in its quest to exonerate Roberson. Attorney General Ken Paxton is investigating the U.S. Department of Justice for allegedly targeting Elon Musk's voter registration program. Paxton filed a Freedom of Information Act request on Thursday of last week asking for correspondence between the DOJ and Musk's political action committee called America PAC regarding the PAC's outreach to supporters of the First and Second Amendment. Side note, how was the name America PAC not already taken by now? Amazing that Elon Musk got it. Well, specifically, Attorney General Paxton's FOIA requested copies of all communication between the two parties from October 1st to the present. The FOIA letter points to correspondence surrounding the petition in favor of free speech and the right to bear arms, as an example. Between October 25th and November 5th, one signer of the petition each day from the swing states, so Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona, Michigan, etc., will receive $1 million. The petition's goal is to get 1 million new registered voters across different swing states to sign in support of the U.S. Constitution. The DOJ has until November 7th to respond to the request.
Hey folks, Chris Salcedo here. I've got something special for you, the Salcedo Storm podcast. As your friendly, liberty-loving Latino, I bring you a mix of engaging discussions to help us fight for our state and our conservative values. It's the perfect way to stay informed and engaged in what's happening around you. So, what are you waiting for? Don't miss out on the storm of information and entertainment coming your way. The Salcedo Storm podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts.
Fort Worth Mayor Maddie Parker has announced she'll be running for a 3rd term. Dallas Express reported that during her speech at the State of the City event hosted by the Fort Worth Chamber of Commerce, Mayor Parker announced her bid and addressed national politics as well as world affairs affecting Fort Worth. She spotlighted how the Fort Worth City Council has been able to work together and reach compromise despite differences of political opinions. Additionally, she highlighted how the city has been able to address homelessness and increased funding for the city police. Well, Parker was first elected in 2021, and in 2023, she won 70% of the vote to be reelected for a 2nd term. Since then, her time as mayor has faced some controversies. In May of last year, Mayor Parker appeared to have endorsed LGBT and radical gender ideologies through her summer reading program where kids could earn a pride badge if they learned about the science behind rainbows, drew a self-portrait that highlights uniqueness, and learned about the history of LGBT Pride Month. She later removed the badge from the program. But in January of this year, the controversy continued as the city of Fort Worth earned a perfect score from the pro-LGBT human rights campaign's Municipality Equality Index. She later announced that she'd be sitting on the Girls Inc. Inaugural Advisory Board. That's a leftist organization that openly supports leftist ideology and advocates against pro-life legislation. For more of today's stories, go to TexasScorecard.com.